Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Chris. I want to share with you how you can obtain a 1% top level physique, a movie star ready physique in the smallest amount of time physically possible. Okay? So, the challenge for me today is really to get you to believe it because, in just the trend of everything is a pill for this, a pill for that, and how can you get it quick, and no blood, sweat, and tears, right? Well, I want to share with you how I stumbled upon what I now know. It was quite an accident and through a series of really bad decisions. So I think I can convince you that what I'm saying is true after you realize how much I really didn't want to work out at all. So I've been fit before, and I was doing an hour workout every day for 6 days out of the week during COVID time. I would get up at 5 a.m., go outside. I would do 1,500 jumps in 12 minutes on my jump rope. I'd do kettlebells. I had a pull-up bar, dips, push-ups, the works, and I got pretty lean. I had a six-pack. Life was good, right? Well, I ended up moving to Dallas shortly after, and I took all my belongings, had my truck, the works, go down there. But on the way, I actually stopped at a friend's wedding in Sedona, Arizona. And in Arizona, well, hey, it's a wedding, it's party time. But my buddy busted out some cigars, and little did he know, I'm a former smoker. So I had a cigar because when the booze is flowing and, party's happening, it just happened. So I had one. Well, guess what? As soon as I got to Dallas, man, that cigar was on my mind. I started buying cigars, and very shortly after, I was buying cigarettes. And that got me pretty down and depressed. So basically, I started drinking, and then I actually met friends who were drinkers. Well, that ended up going badly as well. I got pretty deep into that, and it lasted about 3.5, 4 years where I was drinking every single night, at least 4 to 6 24-ounce beers. I like those big tall boys, and that was my drink of choice. And yeah, even if I was alone, I'd be getting drunk. So what does that have to do with a physique and getting fit? Well, I certainly lost every gain that I had made, and I definitely knew in my internal monologue that I needed to stop. So I kept telling myself, like, hey, this is enough. Well, 6 months go by, and I muster enough courage to finally get back into my workouts. Well, the thing about it is that takes a lot of work and dedication, and little old smoker me goes outside in the middle of winter in my long john, start doing 300 jumps, and I feel like I'm gonna cough my lung up. So I get to about 2 weeks, and then I quit because I'm like, man, I don't know if I have it in me to do this. Okay, so I just go straight back to smoking and drinking. But the interesting part is that I was still kind of looking and knew that I had to stop. It wasn't like I had completely given up hope. So I was looking on YouTube, and I found the teachings of the late bodybuilder Mike Mentzer. So if you don't know who he is, I'll just give a quick synopsis. He was a bodybuilder in the 70s. He did not, he competed against like Arnold and a lot of other guys who some of you may know. And the thing that's interesting about him is he was about to quit bodybuilding because he wasn't like a sponsored, big winner of anything yet. He was actually a full-time student, and he worked at like either it was in the Navy or a lab, or maybe both, something like that. But he couldn't find the time to do his 3 hours a day that was required, right? Well, funny enough, he met a guy named Arthur Jones who was introduced to him through another bodybuilder. And what was cool about that is they taught him what's called high intensity training. So he started doing 3 45-minute workouts per week to compete. And, some people will scoff at that and say, well, hey, he's on steroids. I mean, of course you can do that. Well, the interesting part about that is they're all on steroids. So Arnold and other guys, they're doing 3 to 6 hours a day, and they're all taking handfuls of anabolics, including Mike. And but what's interesting is the training duration, right? So what are they doing different? Well, that's when I got to reading and looking at everything. I probably watched 300 hours of anything there was to know on this subject, and just started looking at what people had to say about it. Well, the YouTube creators say, oh no, that won't work, the science is a little outdated, or oh no, that it won't work quite like that, that's only a half truth, and all this stuff, right? But once I realized, well, I guess that's a wrap, right? So, okay, well, that doesn't work. Well, not exactly, because every time you go to a video like this, there's like at least 50 comments, man, where guys who've been in the gym 10, 20, 30, 40 years saying, hey, no, it's legit. You got to check out some of these principles that he goes by. So I decided to believe them, right? So basically I begrudgingly said to myself, well, I guess I got to start working out. And it was really an offer I couldn't refuse. I mean, the guy who, I mean, he's since deceased, but he was telling his clients to work out 1 day a week. I mean, for less than an hour, for goodness sake. So I couldn't even, I mean, how could you say no to that? So I started, and it was a very rocky start. I mean, I was still drinking 2 days a week. Now, the thing is, you are supposed to have a workout journal, as he told me to do, so I did. And I wrote it all down. And it didn't look pretty, and it wasn't very nice. But the thing about it was I did it, and I worked out 1 day a week. And, man, what an interesting thing. I started to gain muscle. I was losing fat at the same time. I was gaining about 1 to 1.5 pounds of muscle a month. Doing just the one workout a week, 4 workouts total in a month. And I mean, everyone I knew told me it was bogus and that it wouldn't work. So I just stopped believing all the noise, and I just kind of cracked down and got to it. So the thing that I want to share with you is this what is high intensity? So high intensity training is basically where you are working for every workout, you're doing 1 set, and you do it till you absolutely fail. And he has you do a certain rep ranges for things, but basically what you're doing is you're lifting or pulling the weight, and then you're doing a slow negative, okay? So you're releasing the weight very slowly. And there's other techniques to go beyond, but basically this is what stimulates what he calls the growth mechanism in your muscles. So you don't actually need to just hammer away 20 sets like these other guys were doing 6 hours in the gym. So you do 1 set for a muscle group or for a specific workout. So what I have decided to do is, because I don't want to be a bodybuilder, okay? I don't want to be big. I don't care about benching 315. I don't give a damn about squatting 500 pounds. I just want to look good. So you've heard it probably 1,000 times. Get a V taper. That's this Hollywood, look where you look like Brad Pitt and Troy, where you have big delts, you got a big upper chest, you got visible abs because you're very lean. You have 8 to 12% body fat. You have large lats, so you have like that wide look to you, but a skinny waist. And then you have developed legs, and I'm not talking tree trunks here, right? Just developed. And so this is the kind of look that I'm going for, and I think that I can share with some of the nuts and bolts on how to build that through these principles in a very short amount of time. Me personally, the whole reason was I was basically depressed, and I was like, hey, look, I just need to get a little bit more respect. As a single guy, I wanted some dating options. Maybe for you, if you're a busy man, working in a profession, you know, or if you have a family and have kids and just want like a better, you know, family life, have more longevity, or things are busy during your week, whatnot, you know, I'm literally talking 45 minutes. And 45 minutes a week, and if you want to go hardcore, you can just do 2 of them. I mean, it's really simple stuff. Now the workout is very intense, okay? Like, you're gonna have to do some mental things that you may have never done before, like imagining a gun is put to your head. So pretty intense. Or like someone you love is gonna die if you don't do one more rep that to surpass what you did in the last workout. But the thing that's nice about it is there's plenty of recovery too. So whenever time you step into the gym, because you're going so infrequently, you are fully recovered. You're never in the gym going, oh, I don't know if I could do this workout, or not feeling good. You feel great. You're like ready to slam it and kill this thing. So that's a nice added bonus. But there's a whole lot that I want to cover in the upcoming days and weeks here. So I'll just give you that for now. And hope that helped.